Sam Maltese off track. Good to see you, mate. How are you?
Very well. Very well. Happy to be here. Home race. Proper home race for me now. I've been in Donington and just living down the road. So, yeah, really looking forward to it.
What's this, 11 years since you raced?
Yeah, 11 years. So, World Supersport 2013. Yeah. So, yeah, it's been a while. Obviously, I know the track, but the first session will take me a little bit just to get back going. But, yeah, really looking forward to it.
Tell me about the season so far, the transition to World Superbikes.
Yeah, until Mazzano was really good. Mazzano was a bit of a blip, a few small issues and a few little bits. Yeah, really loving World Superbike, loving the different format. Obviously the bike, firstly, but the tyres, everything about it. Racing against Alex is nice, and just enjoying it. Just enjoying it. Obviously, Grand Prix is mega, the paddock and everything, and the Moto2, MotoGP another level. So it's just completely different to come here. Always knew I would try to do Superbike. Is after I'd obviously grown up in the British Supersport, World Supersport. So it was. I'm not a rider that's come that way around. So I always anticipated I wanted to come back here. And the last few years, the Moto2 was a bit up and down. Some good races, obviously, a bit up and down. And then I just wasn't enjoying the schedule that much. Not the travel, the races. Never going to moan about travelling to ride a bike, but just the format on the weekend. I didn't ride so much. I remember saying to the team, and I said, just feel like if I don't start the weekend well, there's no time to sort of improve. Whereas then I've come here and you're riding all weekend. You know what I mean? You're just racing or riding, and it's great. Breath of fresh air. You know, I'm 33 now, and here you feel I feel young. Let's say younger. Do you know what I mean? In the infield, whereas there I'm, you know, the young lads coming through. They don't care about all them little things. It's a bit different. So I think it's good timing for me. Obviously Ducati's bike's amazing. Bike's good. So enjoyable to ride. Follow the best, obviously best package on the grid. So from that side, it's great. I just need to figure it out a bit. Obviously, coming from, am I on?
Yeah, you're on. Trying back out.
Yeah, fine. And coming from Moto2,
yeah,
riding like that, more the tyres, but also the bike is a lot different. So I'm still, you know, really the exit, still not using it great. You know, the power of the bike and the tyres. So it's just the biggest thing to work on. But it's easy to know the theory of what you need to do. For the reality, you know, you need to figure it out. You need to figure it out on track. I mean, you can look at the computer or look at the data, but in the end, it needs to be on track. So, I feel like we're not. I'm 90%. I'm riding obviously hard, but I've got it 90% figured out. You know, and in a series like this, you need a bit more than that. So,
I swear to God, you're looking at my questions.
No, I can't read anyway.
So how's I mean, let's go back to what you said about the time on track. Having 3 races over a weekend, is completely alien compared to GP. But that track time is there's nothing that replaces bumming seat time.
No, honestly, I think it is even highlighted. I love racing.
Yeah,
I love riding bikes, but I love racing bikes, and the fact that you get 3 goes at it is mega. When you do an amazing race in Grand Prix, one's nice because you've crossed the line, it's done. Say the races I've done well, say you won the race, right? Done, innit? So that's also nice because it's one go, bosh, and then you can here, you know, if you win the first one, but then Sunday's bad, you leave a great weekend feeling a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, it's so good, and especially for me with the lack of experience with the bike and the tyres, I feel like over the weekend I started to figure it out. But it's still been a bit strange. We've done 4 rounds. Phillip Island was really strange with a new tarmac with the pit stops. It was a good experience. I loved it actually, but it was like 6 races because we stopped every one.
Baptism of fire, wasn't it?
Yeah, baptism of fire. Then Barcelona was actually quite solid, but then the tyres, I didn't understand. Alex, we did the test, and I did the 15-lap run at the end of the test, and I was fast. And I was like, I said, honestly, bro, it was good that he went, yeah. And it was, he did one, was obviously travelling back to here. He goes, yeah, but honestly, mate, it's them last 6 laps. And I'm listening to him, believing him, because we're obviously so close. But thinking, it's only 6 laps. You know what I mean? Honestly, on the race weekend, I passed him with about 5 laps to go. About 2 laps later, he come past me, just like not shaking his head, but just I was at reverse. I didn't know I had reverse on the Ducati. So Barcelona's, I was fast, so I was happy with my speed, but needed to learn that situation. Aston was absolutely freezing all weekend. It was a strange conditions. First time really riding in the rain. The Superbike, you know, qualified was all right. Finished 6th or 7th. Was all right. And then Mazzano was just a bit of a blip. You know, we tested there well. The conditions were real hot.
Yeah.
And honestly, the front feeling with the Pirelli and the heat is, you know, in the morning sessions I was all right. I qualified. I don't know, 7th, was all right.
Yeah.
In the afternoons, honestly, it's like a novice. But not in a bad way. I remember I was even riding with Ian One. I was feeling he knew the tyres. And I was like, I don't understand mega what's going on. And at this level, then you're 10th or whatever, and it's a bad weekend. And a couple of crashes. So we've only done 4 rounds. I still feel like I've not got it all under control yet. So, I mean, I need a bit more time, but luckily we get a lot of riding, and now the second half of the season, I've got a lot of races, a lot of riding, and it'll be a lot more easy to get momentum. Now it's been quite spread out. You know, we raced in February.
It's been a steady start,
Raced in February. We were sat here now in July.
2 summer breaks almost.
I've done 4 rounds, so that's not halting my progress because it's all right. But I feel like now I can get on a bit of a roll because I'm used to riding a bit more than that, and I've only got 10 test days being on the Ducati. Even though so you fall under that umbrella, which obviously you have the bike, so it carries you anyway a lot of the way. But it's not how much riding for someone that's got to get used to the. So I feel like the second half of the year can be real good for me. This is nice.
When you make the swap from Grand Prix racing from prototypes to production bikes, with, as you said, 4 rounds in, how do you go through the process of developing the bike and developing you? Because there's more to come from the bike, but there's also more to come from you. How do you balance that?
Yeah, I think it's always a tough one. Also, many times now I come in and say, just leave it as it is, and I'll figure it out. Because I think Moto2 especially, you learn that because you can moan about the bike. Well, this year's a bit different. But let's say the years I was in it, Calyx were winning.
Yeah,
you're on a Calyx. You can moan about the bike, but the engine, tires, everything is so the same. So you really look at yourself because anyway, the bike can be a few tenths. It's not 1 second or whatever, 0.8. So Moto2 is a good learning for that. So even me coming in, many times I come in and say, leave the bike. It's enough. Do you know what I mean? Also now you see Bulliger, Bautista winning, only doing well. It's good enough. But there's a balance because the riders are different, the riding styles are different. I think these bikes, to ride them fast, just normal fast, is easier. To ride them really fast is probably harder.
Okay.
Whereas a GP bike, Moto2, let's say you jump on it, it doesn't feel nice. Even going slow. Like if you don't have the confidence, you don't feel anything. If you're not pushing it hard, it feels difficult. Yeah. So that's different. You can get on this and you can be within, not real close, second and a half, easy. The first few runs, but then that's the next bit. Yeah, you've got to ride it properly, let's say, to consistently do that next step. So yeah, it's just me giving the right comments, the team working on the bits we need to work on, but then me adapting to the bike and not going around in a big circle. But we're more or less, I've got a good crew and good people we don't go too far away.
You've got a good crew. You've got Cammy working with you as British champion last year with Tommy Bridewell, knows the Ducati inside out. So you surround yourself with the right people straight away.
Yeah, and the crew
to get the best. And Giovanni Krupi as well.
Yeah, so this side, the team's great. The team's fantastic. Also, we've got Cammy now as well in the garage. Yeah, so from a riding side, I fire a lot into him, and he's got a lot of experience. So there's no weak point. It's just a little bit of time, and honestly, a little bit of momentum. Yeah. Because I felt a little bit stop-start so far. And if I get on a bit of a roll, I'm close enough that then I can. You know what it's like. We all know what it's like in racing. You get one result,
then you're bound by your results, aren't you?
Exactly. But then they come, and then when they're not coming, it's the opposite. But so yeah, it's all right.
I'm a big fan of surrounding yourself with the right people and having everything in place.
Yeah.
Because you've been through it. Al's been through it. Every rider I know's been through it. If you take away every reason not to go fast, there's only one thing left, and that's the mirror.
I think also Alex this year, from where he was in Kawasaki, one side of the garage to the other side of the garage, and it's not from both sides of the garage are good. It's not me to say one, but he's a lot happier this side of the garage this year, and the bike's improved. It's not the same bike, really. This bike's been out forever. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. It's
he's doing a better job, but I feel like now he can just focus on riding. The other things around the team put him in a position where he can just ride, and a lot of us can ride well. I've been lucky in my career that I've rode with everybody, more or less. Maybe not really Mark that much, but let's say the next generation, I've rode with them all. Rode with them all, competitively rode with them all, battled with them all. So I believe that a lot of people in the right situation can do a similar job, a good job. But that last bit is many aspects that you need. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So it's what it's about. The people around you, it's not just the rider and the talent of the rider. It's many things.
It's not that anymore. And that's something we try and stress to the listeners and the viewers of what makes the full package for a motorcycle racer.
Yeah.
You can all pedal.
Yeah.
That's never in question. It's putting that whole package together.
Yeah. And then it's understanding what you need to do it. You know what I mean?
And being able to translate that and put that across.
Yeah. And then it can be some years the bike, maybe not like Quattuaro 3 years ago was he still is a great rider, but was the next guy, the guy that everyone did, the big money guy, MotoGP. Now, not. it's still getting the big money, but it's not there because the package around it. But that's right. It can also be the bike. But in classes like Moto2, even superbike, sure, is the same. Sometimes the bike's not there, but you still got to try and understand how you can get the most out of it.
Has there been one big transition to make, or has it been the sum of the parts in terms of transfer?
Strangely, honestly, the biggest thing is the tyres.
Yeah.
The bike's a bike. You can jump on the bike, and I'm in Jerez, it was rubbish condition, but I did 30 laps at the end of last year. That's all I got because of the weather and that. And I was all right. You know, I'm not amazingly fast, but within doing 40 or something in Jerez is decent. Like, you're more or less nearly there already. But it's the understanding the tyres in all different conditions and to maximise the tyres and the drop of the tyre. And looking Moto2 now, just to highlight this, I believe that the bikes, the riders, most people have stayed the same, teams or whatever. So all they've changed is tyre. So they know everything about them bikes and the circuits. Only thing they've changed is the tyre. And the results have been incredible, up and down. Not many people have been consistent and different to what people probably thought. In some races, dropping massive. And so for me, I've come across, and what's a good thing is the guys here know the tyres amazingly well. Yeah. All the riders, you know, also I talk a lot with Alex, but also the Ducati, the teams. So, but that's where you can make a massive difference. Because you put an SCQ in qualifying, right? This weekend, if we'll do 25s, right? Yeah. Yeah. So you don't, if your bike's not, but you can still do the lap time. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But then after 4 laps, you're not doing that.
It's what happens after
exactly.
that.
So it's really understandable. I've not had that in the last. I've never had that because when I was in Supersport, it was just SC0 and it's different. So now you've literally got all these different tires and how they work and how to manage it at the beginning is a lot different. And this is one really interesting. But 2, it's something when you've got 3 laps to go and you're going that way and they're going that way, you think, fucking hell, yeah, I do need to figure that out. But that honestly,
you're going Alex, all you can see is his shoulders doing this.
He told me, and then on the way out, I told you, yeah, you told me, mate. But it's one of them where you got to do it wrong to do it right. And I think that is the biggest thing is you can, from the best bike to the worst bike on the grid in World Superbike now, I know there's some of the team, but say the best bike to the worst bike is probably 1 second. Yeah. Let's say it is. Let's say, you know, so let's say it is. Right, but you can put an SCQ in and go over a second quicker. So the tires, it's massive. The tire, so you need to understand that. And maybe I've not in the winter testing, especially, didn't put the emphasis on that enough. And that, but just because I've had 10 years and Dunlop, 95% of the races I've ever done with Dunlop, I could match my time at the end of the race. Maybe more than nearly all the races, but let's say 95% because it's different tire. Yeah, different drop-offs, different construction, also
everything.
Different mentality. Because I will sort of go in now off this, and I'll. Not push as hard, but just get right into the race. But with Pirelli, you do that, you're behind. You've got to maximise the beginning and then manage the tyre. So it's just a little bit different way to see the
But you also don't know that until you race. No. Because when you're battling in the early laps and there's tyre wear and you get to later in the race, all of a sudden you're like, I've got nothing left.
Yeah, and that's also why there's emphasis on qualifying is you need to be fast in the first laps, but not take too much out of the tyre. Yeah. So if you're there at the beginning, you're in that position.
Did this move come at the right time in your career? Has it reignited a flame that might have been sort of dimming a little bit?
Yeah, when I was talking a lot around the beginning of last year, I said to the team, and okay, my wife, she obviously works in the team in the end, but I said, I'm not doing another year in Moto2. I didn't want that bothered about doing 23 because I had 2 big shoulder injuries last few years. I was hurting me, and then this year, and not that I was trying to come here, and then I won in Jerez last year, and I had the proposal from the team to stay in Moto2. So at this time, we didn't know the tyres were changing. No. Because I might have done one year if that was the case. Might have done just because my experience might have helped the team, but irrelevant now. But and I won in Jerez and was in the Monte Castillo because I was like stayed all the time. I was having a few drinks. I wasn't. Other people was having drinks.
Ever the professional.
I had a few drinks, and I said to the team, and then so Patrick runs the team with Marina. They did under Mark, and I said they said, look, maybe next year. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. They said, you've just wanted to, yeah, but I feel like I need to change something. Do you know what I mean? Oh, okay. And then I went to the next race, which was Le Mans. And then I was on pole. And they're like, please. And then Mark said to me, you can do this or this. You can sign in Moto2, or we're going to put something together in Superbike. And we'd like you to do it if you don't want to do Moto2. I said, fuck out.
So it's a great position to be in.
Lucky position. But I said that to him. I'm lucky. He said, you're lucky, but you just won a Grand Prix. Yeah. I said, do you know what I mean? And I said, yeah, but your consistency. He says, no, you make your own luck. I said, well, I appreciate that. Do you know what I mean? But and I was really trying to think to come here anyway. And then at the time we could have been Yamaha or Ducati. It was not clear. But they want And for Mark wanting to change, because in the end here, you're top class.
Yeah, yeah.
Their Moto2 is amazing, but it's, you know, MotoGP is where it's at, obviously. It's obviously where it's so, and it's a lot of money in Moto2. Do you know what I mean? So I think he wanted to change as well. He's still obviously running both, but here, you know, you're top class.
I can imagine, maybe I'm wrong, but is it not slightly less expensive to do this than 21 rounds of Moto2, potentially?
It depends on the rider is, doesn't it?
Depends on the rider's demands.
It is, yeah, more or less, yeah.
As a team, rather than as a rider from that perspective.
It's hard to know. We were one rider, and this year was all new.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a big investment because
you continued. Initial outlay.
The Moto2 has not changed at all. So the team, the people, the quality, the hospitality, everything's there. Yes. So it's literally a massive add-on. It's all new. Trucks, everything. You know, it's city stuff you don't even think of. Yeah, it's all new. So it's a big expense, but that's racing's expensive, isn't it?
It's an expensive game.
And we're very lucky. We've got good team partners with Elf and Beta that come across. And obviously, Mark loves it. Mark absolutely loves it, and he's a great guy. So this obviously helps as well, doesn't it?
And there's an extended career here as well, isn't it? Because Moto2, you're at the age you're at. I thought it was pretty much the right time for you to make that jump, because you can still make an impact here.
I said to Marina, I said, if I do another year in Moto2, and it was obviously me and Tony another year, it would have been all right.
Yeah,
it's mint Grand Prix. I'm not someone that thinks this. I don't think there's any competition. I love all racing, so I absolutely loved it. But I just said, "Fuck, I'm going all the way there." And you go into Indonesia, or, you know, I went into Austin, and Chantra took me out first, like it's racing. But then you go to the next race, and Tony took me out in the jail. I said, "I've done 3 races here. I've done 3 laps." And you're working hard, but it's just going. And I said, "I'm just, you know what I mean, I'm not feeling it anymore." And she was like, "Oh." I said, "If I do another year in Moto2, that'll be my last year." I said, and then I'll stop, because I need, while I'm still like, because I've just won in Jerez, I had the currency to then for the team to want to put me in superbike. Because if you're winning Grand Prix, it's nice that they put a team together. It's obvious you could be the rider, because you're doing. If I have another year and didn't do as well, and I'm always motivated. But what didn't? Then it's harder for the team.
You don't want your stock level to.
It's harder for the team to go, well, we'll put all this together and put you on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at that moment, I was in a position. I said, I'd love to do that.
What you don't want it to do is look like a favour.
Yeah.
You've earned the right to be here with the Grand Prix wins. Yeah. It's like, well, I'm off the back of a couple of Grand Prix wins.
I was the same in 19 when I joined the team, because obviously, again, going back to Marina being in the team, a few people said that, and I didn't have the best year in 19. But in that Grand Prix paddock, it's never as bad as you think. I wasn't that far off. The year after, I nearly won the championship.
Absolutely.
And in 2016, I was in Aragon. Was it Aragon? I think it was Aragon. And at the time, was it 2016 Aragon, Morbidelli and Alex Marquez were riding for VDS.
Yeah.
And I was riding, for Goscinny the first year, Federal the first time I was there. And not happened, but I managed to win the race, right? So must have got lucky there.
I don't know what
happened. And Mark, and at the time I was with Mark said to me, and I was on number 22 at that time, now obviously with it. And Mark put his arm around me, I was a Cud Marina, and he said, and he looked at the bike, in Parc Ferme. They would swear it's on my daughter's like exactly like this. He looked 22, so it's my favourite number. He's in French, but Marina, and it's a bit of English, he just talked English. One day on my bike, and I was like smiling. Obviously, I'd already signed at that point for MotoGP, but it was nice, nice little moment. And then was in Brno in 2019, and like middle of the year, and at the time, Goscinny were looking at doing 2 bikes or not, and Bulliger actually signed for Goscinny at that time. And I was contemplating staying or not, was just talking about it. And I was talking to Mark, it would have been a Wednesday night, not in hospitality, in Brno paddock. And I mentioned to Mark, I'm not sure what to do. Marina was trying to let that in, it was like that. And at the time, and I can't remember who was riding for VDS at the time. And he said, it's easy. It's easy. I told you, 2016, one day I have my bike. And I was like, oh yeah, I signed on Saturday. And then, okay, if I want to break me out, like if bits and maybes, but nearly, fought for the championship the year after.
No, exactly.
I'll be just at the end by Bastianini, but it was a good year. And then the year after 4th. So we've had a good time together. So I think if I'd have dragged that out longer in Moto2, like you say, whereas last year at that point was still nice. You know, I had Jerez, then in Pole in Le Mans, obviously, Mark, look, he's a lovely, so I gave him, and it was just a nice moment. And he says, let's do it. And I said, well, for me, that's the best thing to do.
I'm a big fan of planets aligning in this sport.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't happen very often. And when it does, you've got to seize the moment because you've no idea when it's coming again.
Yeah. And I also I think that I've done it long enough and done enough stuff that I've had a lot of bad days and things go against me, like all people have in life. So not just about, so if something goes for you, that's how it is. That's how it is. You can't feel bad about that, can you? Do you know what I mean?
You take it.
Yeah, there's a lot of races where if I'd just been one lap before, it'd have been different script, wouldn't it? But everyone can say that. So I don't. you got to think like that, can you? I appreciate every opportunity that I've had, and I think I'm so happy here. Obviously, I don't even know if it's announced or something, but I'm right. I'll be the same next year anyway. So it was
Fantastic.
Yeah,
That's great news.
It was always anyway. It's never can't just do 1 year, can you? Also for the team and everything. So it's
the thing that I love. It's 11 years since we did a podcast together.
Yeah,
just after you'd won Supersport.
When I used to be faster.
You were faster and you were younger.
Yeah.
Probably slightly better looking as well. But that just comes with time.
Yeah.
That just comes with time. But to see the progress that you've made since is incredible. To go through MotoGP, the difficult times you've had, but to still come out swinging and to be sat here happy with a new challenge.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
And the family side as well.
I think you can always look, and especially the way it sort of went a bit in MotoGP at the timing and stuff, and the races, and like just missing out on the championship because when I did my hand and all these things, it's easy to think what you ain't done. Honestly, if someone said to me, "Oh, you're gonna," when I was in British Supersport, in GNS, you remember?
Yeah, with GNS.
Even in World Supersport with Peter, then with Yannick, "Oh, you're gonna go and you're gonna win 10 Grand Prix, have nearly 30 third the most ever poles or whatever." I'd have gone, yeah, all right then. Wouldn't
you take it? Yeah,
you take it. But then, obviously, in the moment, and things could have gone better. But you make a decision at the moment. If I should have waited a bit to go to MotoGP, I wasn't ready for it.
No,
but they weren't ready for me either. It was a combination of stuff, but I've got no regrets in that side.
I love this. This is brilliant, Sam. Thank you for your time, mate.
Very
You've
welcome.
got a busy day today.
Yeah, it's all right.
We'll wish you all the best for the weekend and the rest of the season.
Can we make it not 11 more years? Because I don't know if I'll still be going then. Do you know what I mean? Let's try and do it a bit short. Maybe 4 or 5.
Maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Lowes.